They spend their days waiting, waiting for American sponsors and a chance to begin again. These strangers in a new land are a long way from home, both in miles and in culture. Waiting, they live in limbo, thinking about the old life and wondering about the new. The purpose of this program is to acquaint you with the refugees and their lives from the time of their arrival until now, and to examine the progress and the problems on the way to closing the gap. And singing familiar old songs seems to help. This is a performance by refugee folk singers who recently toured Fort Indiantown Gap and Fort Chaffee.
Ôi thằng bé nào mà không hoảng sợ. Thế rồi nghe mợ trả lại buồn câu. Xin hòa với nhau, câu đây cô chú. Câu đây cô chú, buồn câu trà chú. Tu trà anh, quả chanh trà chị. Quả ti trà ba, con gà trà ông. Buồn câu trà chú. Tu trà anh, quả chanh trà chị. Quả ti trà ba, con gà trà ông. Nghe không chú bé lấy lại con cung, chú bé lấy lại con cơm, giữ chặt con cơm, chú bé giữ chặt con cơm. La 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 la. Thứ nhất là để nối lại cái sự giao cảm giữa người Việt chúng ta sau 4 tháng bị dao động.
Phạm Duy, a Vietnamese songwriter who performed with his wife and daughter, talked to the audience about reconciliation and adjustment. And singer Con Lee urged the refugees not to forget Vietnam and their heritage. A fan of Con Lee's when he worked in Vietnam, Rich Fuller, now a caseworker with the International Rescue Committee, joined in the entertainment.
That I'd like to do is called A Mother's Heritage, which is also written by Trình. It was sung by many children in Vietnam and was even on TV during a recording in one of the C-141s that brought some of the refugees here. It capsulizes the history of Vietnam in 3 short verses. Thousand years of Chinese reign, 100 years of French domain, 20 years fighting brothers each day, a mother's fate left for her child, a mother's fate, a land defied. 1,000 years of Chinese reign, 100 years of French domain, 20 years fighting brothers each day, a mother's fate, bones left to dry, engraved that fill a mountain high. Teach your children to speak their minds, don't let them forget their kind, never forget their kind from old Vietnam. Mother, wait for your kids to come home, kids who now so far away roam, children of one father, be reconciled.
1,000 years of Chinese reign, 100 years of French domain.
One day is for joy, one day is for pain, one day is for peace, one day is insane. This life we lead, this life
One day to be friends, one day is to kill, one day is to sell, one day understood, one day is perplexed, a hero, one day the tractor to nails.
This life we live, this life we live. This life we live, this life we live. One lifetime of love, one lifetime of hate, one life we must choose, one life for our fate, one life we have lost, one life we have kept, one life that we curse, one life we accept. This life we live, this life we live. This life we live, this life we live. Tôi có người yêu chết trần.
Con Lee, like Tien Dao, also is mourning the loss of a loved one. She told the audience that only a few days before she had heard that her beloved, a lieutenant colonel in the Vietnamese army, had been killed. And she shared her sorrow with them by singing a song about another woman in Vietnam who had become deranged from grief over the wartime death of a loved one. Only she, Con Lee said, is luckier than I, because I am sane and am fully aware of my pain.
Tôi có người yêu, bỏ xác trôi sông, chết ngoài ruộng đồng, chết rừng mịt mùng, chết lạnh lùng, mình cháy như than. Tôi muốn yêu anh, yêu Việt Nam. Ngày mới lớn tôi đi môi gọi thầm, gọi tên anh, tên Việt Nam gần nhau trong tiếng nói giá vàng. Tôi muốn yêu anh, yêu Việt Nam. Ngày mới lớn tai nghe quen đàn mình, thừa đôi tay giữ lạt môi. Từ nay tôi quên hết tiếng người. Tôi có người yêu chết ở Pleiku. Tôi có người yêu nằm chết cong queo, chết vào lòng đèo, chết cạnh gầm cầu, chết nghẹn ngào, mình không manh áo. Tôi có người yêu chết trận Ba Gia. Tôi có người yêu vừa chết đêm qua, chết thật tình cờ, chết chẳng